everyone, today I have for you this look. It is a smoky look using the Naked 3 palette, and it's not technically a smoky eye, but it's my take on a smoky eye, and it is heavily influenced by Sharon Farrell, to be quite honest with you. But if you're interested to see how I did this, then just keep watching. Since it's been so cold and dry lately, it's currently 4 degrees outside. I don't even want to think about going outside. It's fine. I'm looking at a window. It's 4 degrees outside. Anyway, I've been using the Tatcha Dewy Spray Mist as a priming spray. It does have a fair amount of glycerin in it, which is the same thing that a lot of people like about the Nivea balm, which I haven't used, but a lot of people enjoy it. So it does have glycerin in it, which is supposed to make things stick to you, but also it's just hydrating, so when your skin is hydrated, stuff looks better on top of it. I've also just been using my always favorite of the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. I've only been using it in shade 805 recently because it is officially the middle of winter. And I've been using it a lot with the mini 55 brush, the 55.5, the Pro Airbrush. I have really been enjoying this brush. I had never used this brush before, and I just got it about a week ago, but I really like it. I do find that it gives quite a light finish, but I like that. I like that it shears out my foundations just a little bit. It makes them look a little bit more natural. The fluffiness of the brush is what does that. Much like in an eye brush, when you use a fluffier brush, it helps things kind of blur out and be really soft looking. It does the same thing with foundation. It just looks really natural, I think. So if you want a really full coverage foundation, something like the Real Techniques Expert's Face Brush is a much better choice, where they're a lot shorter bristles, so they don't have as much give. They really push things into your skin a little bit more, whereas this kind of just slides them right across the top, and I really have been enjoying this finish. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the lightest shade. This is in shade 15. I'm just going to put a little bit of it under my eyes and then just a little bit around my nose as well, where I tend to get a little bit red in the cold. And I've really been enjoying putting this on with this little Sonia Kashuk brush. It's quite fluffy. Let me compare it to a different brush that you're used to seeing from me. The black one is the Sigma blending brush. It's the E40. And then the Sephora one is their Pro Crease brush. So you can see it's has bristles that are just about as long as those, and it's even bigger around, so it's quite fluffy, and I really have been enjoying it for a lot of the same reasons that I've been enjoying the mini airbrush, actually. A trick that I've been really liking recently for how it makes my under eye concealer look, and I'm pretty sure that I got this from Shauna, and I'm not sure exactly how to say her name or exactly what her username is, but I will definitely link her down below. She's fantastic. I have just recently found her, but I love her so much. Anyway, it's to take, she uses 1 ply of a piece of tissue, but I've just been using a blotting paper, and if you take that under your eye and press it over your concealer, then what it's going to do is pick up all of the oils from your concealer, but not much of the color. You can see it picks up maybe just a tiny bit of the color, but mostly it just makes sure that it's not too wet, because the wetness, the oil, is what makes it crease. So if you can get rid of all the excess, then it won't crease as much. So I've been doing that and then setting it with powder. I am using my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Next, I'm going to go in and do my brows, and I'm going to use my Anastasia Dipbrow, which is my favorite. I use the shade Taupe, and I'm going to use a small angled liner brush. This one is from Sigma. Anyway, I'm going to speed through this because you've seen me do my brows before. If you want to see a full brow tutorial, just let me know, and I can film a video just about that sometime. Now I'm going to go in with a L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper, and this is in the darker shades because I feel like the lighter shade is just a little bit too warm. Now I'm going to go in with my Old Faithful, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm just going to pop this on my fingers and then put it on my eyeballs. Not literally on my eyeballs. That would be ridiculous. Today I'm going to be doing a smoky eye using my Naked 3 palette, which someone recently requested. And that's a good point because I've done a lot of looks, not on here yet obviously, but I've been doing a lot of looks using these kind of lighter, prettier shades, but I haven't been doing very much using any of these darker shades. So I'm not sure exactly which ones I'm going to use yet, but that's where we're going to start. Very first I'm going to go in with Limit through my crease, and I'm going to take Strange above that. Then I'm going to take a pointed crease brush, and I'm going to go in with Dark Side, this shade here, and I'm going to take that through the outer V and pulling it into the crease a little bit, connecting it down to the lash line as well. Using lots of little light strokes to keep everything as evenly blended as I can. I'm going to start drawing it across from the outer V across my lash line. This is a shape that Sharon Farrell does a lot. And I like it a lot on her. I haven't always loved it on me, but I did it a couple days ago. My husband said, "Wow, I really love your eyeshadow today," which is not something he normally volunteers. So we're going to try it again today. I'm going to go in with a regular shadow placement brush. This is an angled shadow brush. And just fill in that placement where it isn't quite connecting down because I'm using a fluffy brush. Just to make sure that it's really opaque where I want it to be opaque. Then I'm going to go in with my crease brush one more time and limit one more time and start to blend out the top of that a little bit better. Maybe even take just a little bit of Nooner, this shade here, which is more of a, if you kind of look at Limit and Nooner, you can see they're very much similar. They're both mattes, but Nooner's just a little bit darker, so Nooner might work just a little bit better as a kind of transition-y shade there. Next I'm going to take Burnout, which is this shade here, a really light shimmery shade, and I'm going to work that across the lid a little bit for a little bit of brightness, which I know this is not technically a smoky eye placement, but it's a much more wearable idea. Then I'm going to take Dust, and I'm going to take this on a finger because I've heard so many horror stories about how much fallout it has, and place it on the inner part here to make that extra bright. I'm going to go in with Dark Side one more time and just make sure that is just about as deep as it's going to get. Just right in the outer V this time. And then using an angled liner brush, instead of liner, I'm going to go in with Blackheart, which is the darkest shade in here. It has a little bit of a reddish sparkle to it, which is kind of cool. I'm going to softly outline with that instead of with a strong liner. Keeping this very soft and smudgy. Kind of blended outliner, not a solid line. Then I'm going to pull that out into this outer V and blend it in just a tiny bit, not too much because I don't want it to be too dark out here, but just to deepen this area a tiny bit more. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. Using the angled liner brush, and not the darkest shade but the next darkest, the Dark Side, I'm going to connect it down to my lash line just a tiny bit on the outer corner, just to add a little bit of depth out here. And that's the whole eyeshadow look. If you wanted to make it a little bit more dramatic, you could smoke out the black liner a little bit more strongly and make it a little bit darker the whole way across. And you could use a black instead of the not quite black that's in this palette as well. But I like that it's a smokier look without being something that you can't just wear out. It's not like this isn't a clubbing look. This could be an everyday look if you wanted it to be, and I really like it. I think it's very pretty, very soft, but still very feminine. At this point, I'm going to finish my skin. I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Pressed Foundation. This is in the shade 45 on a duo fiber brush so that it doesn't pick up too much. And I'm just going to pat that across the center of my face because this is a really good foundation for getting rid of shine. And it does have just a tiny bit of coverage, but it doesn't add a lot of coverage unless you really build it up like a foundation. If you just use it as a powder, it won't give you too much at all. For blush, I'm going to go in with the Sephora Collection Colorful Blush in Sweet on You because it's quite a pretty pink, and with an eye look that's this pink, I want to make sure that that's a similar tone to what I'm using on my face. And for highlight, I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Softlights in Shimmer, which I think I heard is discontinued, and that breaks my little heart because this stuff is awesome. I love it. Going to go in and curl my lashes now. And I'm going to use the Diorshow mascara today. I like that this mascara gives a lot of volume, but without getting clumpy and over the top. You could easily add more drama here by putting an eyeliner in the waterline, by bringing more eyeshadow on the underside, by adding a pair of false lashes, but you guys know me, this is about my comfort zone when it comes to drama. All that's left is to add lipstick, and if you wanted to add a little bit more drama, again, this is somewhere you could add a darker lipstick, you could add a bright pink lipstick, but I want to keep things soft, so I'm going to go in with Urban Decay's lipstick in Fiend. So there you go, there's my smoky-ish look using the Naked 3 palette. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is definitely a placement that you can use using any palette, so if you like the look of it, try it using whatever palette you have at home and let me know what you think, okay? I'll see you soon. Bye, guys!